Okay, right. Let's go. Okay, good morning to you guys. Today is 19th of August 2021, Thursday. All right. You can see that I'm all it's cold this morning. All right, that's why I wear my long sleeve. All right, now transitory bearishness or the beginning. All right, I think that you should know by now that the Dow Jones is down more than 300 points last night. Across the board, most of all the US indices is down by about 1%. So the question is this going to be the selling, just a short-term bearishness, or could this be the beginning? All right, so we'll talk about this later. Now, if those who like alternate market views, okay, stay tuned to the last slide because there's something that I want to share with you. Now, I actually reserved this for the coming Saturday event, but because I think that this could help you a little bit, so I'm going to share with you in advance, okay? Now, do remember, on the 21st of August, which is about 2 days later, okay, we're going to have a very, very eventful session whereby I'm going to share a lot of stuff. So you really need to register ASAP, all right? Because once we cross the 300, we will not extend further, which means that, right, if you can't get in, you can't listen to what I share. And the video will be only available probably 3 days to 4 days later, okay, the replay, all right? So quickly get yourself registered, okay? All right, morning to you, Eric, morning to you, Jerry, and morning to you, Kelza. Okay, let's begin our morning MBO, all right? All right, now all eyes are on Jay Powell. All right, everybody now really need to know what Jay Powell want to do. Now, yesterday after he had spoken, apparently it's not right. He was a little bit going toward the hawkish side, but apparently not really entirely. And so that is the reason why the market did not fall as bad. Because if he had really said what he's supposed to say, example, then the market would have tanked even further. But of course, he pulled back and said that, okay, we need to do this, but not immediately and stuff like that. So that's the reason why the dollar actually came off. That's the reason why. Okay, I'll share more in later. But definitely now the bulls are now all eyes on Jerome Powell because Jerome Powell is the only one that can change this away, while the bears are just waiting and looking at the bulls. Okay, all right, this is what the cartoon is all about. Now, same thing again, once again, now my sharing on every day is very simple. I just want you guys to benefit from this, okay? End of the day, your winnings, you don't pass me anything, right? Your losses, okay, I'm not liable to be fair, right? But I know the end of the day that you guys are making money from the market because the views are there. You cannot change from a buy to a sell or sell to the buy. Everything is recorded over here. So for all my students, you can actually see and backtest and backtrack what I have to offer. Right, end of the day is this. If you're not too sure for my students, please check with me online on Telegram. If you're not sure, no point you try to second guess it and after get yourself into a wrong position. Okay, there's no blank checks available. Okay, everything is what we say, what we share. Okay, all right. So you've accepted the above, you identified me. Let's continue. All right, before we start every morning, we do the quote of the day. Today is from Rob Smith. Buy things that are going up, sell things that are going down, and when they stop, get out. I think that's a very good and simple quote. Is that really when the market is going in the upside, right, you just have to stick to the buy side. When the market on the downside, you stick to the sell side. Now, the thing is this, if the market is going up and you stop, that is a good time for you to take your profit. As simple as that. Now, it sounds easy. It sounds it's like, okay, it's so simple, but you need a lot of discipline to do that. So buying when low and selling at high is not just enough. You must need to know the direction of the instrument that will move in. Very simple, right? If the market instrument now is actually coming off from an uptrend, then you must know that the bearishness will kick in first. And if the market continue to go down, what we see will be the market will recover a little bit and then continue this down slide. So all these things you have to be clear and focused before you can even embark into this journey. So that's the reason why people actually, when they're buying gold in an uptrend, right, they can still lose money because they are buying at the high. If they buy when the pullback comes in, that is where they're going to make money. All right, we'll talk about this more later when it comes to the charts form. Okay, all right, so that is the quote of the day for successful traders. All right, so let's study the charts for today. The bull goes moo, the bear goes grrr, and the lemming go is different this time. I really like this. So that's why I want to share this with you. Okay, let's go. Okay, let's look at the charts, shall we? Okay, all right, let's look at the charts right now. Okay, let's go. Now, China A50 have just opened its trading hours. Okay, it just started trading. And okay, now we can see very clearly for China A50, it is down slightly. Okay, down slightly. Now, again, you can see the magical power of the MA30. So look at it. The market hit the MA30, all right, and then the market just falls. Okay, so if you look back again, if you look back to yesterday, excuse me, all right, you can see that ignore those colors. Well, this is for BNB extension. But what you see is that the market hits the beautiful MA30 level and then it pulls back. That's why I tell you this MA30 is very powerful. You just have to focus on it. You should be fine. All right, MA30. So what's MA30 for today's China A50? Let's write it down somewhere. Okay. Now today the China A50, the MA30 will be about 15,660. Okay, 15,660. I write down for you. All right, so this number is 15,660. Okay, now because the market, this is the BNB. Can you see that? This is the BNB, right? Okay, the market has went up to hit the BNB extension beautifully and then pull back. So you can see that it went up first and then it hit the TP level and it pulled back. But the bottom side, right, haven't been triggered yet. So mathematically speaking, if the market breaks below the BNB SL, there is a possibility for the China A50 to reach 14,921. Okay, it is just possible. Now, it's not saying that it will go there, but it's just mathematically it is possible. So that's the reason why traders can consider to watch this China A50. Now, of course, the China A50 comes to 14,921. It will may create a triple bottom here and maybe the market will recover. We won't know, right? But in my opinion is that if it comes down to 14,921, it will be a good price to watch out for. All right, good morning to you, Gary and Janet. Morning to all of you. All right, so I'm going to write it down for you. China A50 MA30 is 15,660 BNB extension. Can go down to as much as 14,921. Okay, so that is my sharing for China A50 for today. Now, of course, with China A50 can't go past the MA30. As long as it doesn't go past MA30, the probability of the downside is there. Okay, so that's my first view on China A50. Now, how about Hong Kong then? Now, Hong Kong, okay, I'll put in my BNB too. Now, for Hong Kong, it's a little bit clearer. For Hong Kong today, the MA30, okay, the MA30 is apparently, it's not ready yet. So market need to open first before the MA30 can come out, right? But in terms of BNB structure, this is the BNB structure. Can you see this? Okay. Now, the upside potential is 27,158. But now today, we saw the we saw the market close below the BNB SL, right? So mathematically speaking, we can see somewhere down here, and that's 25,197. So I will appeal that traders, if you are looking at the market to pull back, do expect the market to come down to 25,197. Okay. All right. Now do note, this is not a doji. Doji had to be, the body size has to be 20% or lesser than the entire wick. So this is not that. All right. So this is the, I'm going to put MLP for today first. Here we go. Here's MLP. Yeah, take away this line. These are all the previous BNB line. But now we have BNB indicator. We don't need to do that. Okay, so as long as the market stays below the MLP, now MLP for today for the Hang Seng is at about 25,790 level. Okay, so which means that as long as the Hang Seng stays below 25,790, Hang Seng will trade lower. But of course, if Hang Seng trades above 25,790, then Hang Seng will be going up again. All right, we can't do the MA30 right now because we need the market to open, then the MA30, the number will be accurate. Okay, so now we have to wait for a while. Okay, all right, so that is what we have right now for the Hang Seng. We'll come back to this later. Let's look at the Dow Jones now. Now, Dow Jones is very, very near to the level that I mentioned. It's that 34,841. It's a BNB, remember that? And I told you guys for the Dow Jones, if it actually crossed below the BNB SL, I told you, and if it goes below the MA30 yesterday, it will come down to this point here, which is like 34,841. Remember that? And I did specifically tell you that, right, if there is a pullback, because you saw, right, 2 days ago, the high of the day of the Dow Jones was a BNB. And I told you if historical high is a BNB, you must be careful. And you can see that once it breaks below the 35,228 level, the market really comes off. So if you follow what I shared with you yesterday, you have made some money from the market, right? Can you remember that? Yeah, indeed. So this is something that you have to take note of that. Okay, I'll come to more to this US market later on, but today's MA30 or somewhere around here, and it actually coincides with the MLP. All right, so somewhere down here. So the MLP and the MA30 today seemingly coincide. But the thing is this, because the closing is actually below the MA30, now what will happen is this, we must hopefully that this thing will happen. Because the last time when this happened, right, the market go below the MA30, you notice that once you go below MA30, the last few times the market actually rebounded immediately. So of course, we do suspect that the Dow Jones will do the same thing also. So we want to watch the market. If the market wants to sell, it will definitely go below the OP. So we're going to watch the OP very closely. All right. Now, Hang Seng is going to open in just another 10 seconds time. We look at Hang Seng now. Let's take a look at Hang Seng. It's going to open soon. Put a day chart in. Okay, we are standby for Hang Seng right now, everybody. Let's look at the Hang Seng to trade. Okay, let's go. Hang Seng has gapped up a little bit. Okay, yesterday, what is closing at 1 a.m. Huh? So yesterday closing at 25,831, and oh, sorry, my bad. So okay, the closing was 25,831. This morning gapped down to 25,764. Okay, so let's just do and devise the chart, shall we? Okay, first of all, the opening price is between the two pivot. Kind of tight, right? Let me just confirm with the two pivot. Let's just do a bit of refresh and come back again. Yes, confirm the two pivots are there. So which means that, right, if the market stays above OP, it will go up to 26,018. If it stays below OP, then it will go down to 25,576. Okay. Now, the thing is this, the KSI is red in color. So by default, right, the market going down to KTR -1 is pretty high. All right, but now we are seeing the Hang Seng is trading above OP, so you cannot sell yet. Okay, so you wait for the color change to manifest before you can engage. Now, for Hang Seng, right, let's do the conventional too, and we can see a clearer picture. Now, for the conventional, let's take a look right now. The Hang Seng has just opened, right, and the MA30 is there already, so I have to move that down. So this is the one that I will choose for today, the MA30 level. So the MA30 level for today, Hang Seng is at 26,305. Now I repeat, basically it's all right. What we do is that we let the market opens first, and after a while later, then we actually utilize the MA30. So the MA30 level, once you have fixed on the timing, that will be fixed for the whole day. All right, now we do not use it as a move because that will not be accurate in my opinion. So as long as Hang Seng today stays below 36,305, in my opinion, all right, and if it loses MLP, there is a possibility for Hang Seng to go down to 25,197. Now, of course, from where we are now to this 197 is like 500 points away. So you may say that, how can the market go down? I mean, just telling you by mathematics, okay, by formula, by pattern, by statistics. Because since the market couldn't go up couldn't go up, right, then logically if it stays down, it will go down unless a new BNB is formed. Okay, unless a new BNB is formed. So let me just key for you now, Hang Seng Index. MA30 is about 26,305, and the down BNB extension can be as low as 25,107. Okay. All right. So anyway, now the market is trading above OP right now. So if you need to take a look at the market and go ahead. But I say again, if the market goes below OP, there is a small possibility for the Hang Seng to go down to this price. Okay. So hopefully everybody is clear with that. Okay. So that's Hang Seng for you. I'll come back to Hang Seng in about 5-10 minutes time. Let's look at the Dow Jones first. Okay, now this is the Dow Jones. As you can see very nicely, everything looks okay, all looks good. Now the okay, as the Dow Jones is now below the MA30, and let's just check back the charts. Okay, now the last time we see goes below MA30 for the Dow Jones was here, right? And the market instantly rebounded with white candle. And it happened again, and almost immediately the market rebounded with a white candle. And then there's another incident whereby the market hit the MA30 and then rebounded here also. So for when the market was going up from 34,000 all the way to 35,000, all the way, whenever the market goes below the MA30, the next day the market will be an up candle. So that's why now the Dow Jones is also seemingly following. So there is a possibility that the Dow Jones will follow through. All right. Okay. Now, of course, there's another side of it is that when the market loses it completely, all right. When you lose it completely, then of course it's a different thing altogether. So look at over here. I'm going to just differentiate with different drawing. Okay, now look at it. Now, when the market goes below, it means that if the market closed below the MA30 and the next day, the market usually may rebound above the OP mark first initially. Can you see that? And then what happened? If the market starts to go below the OP, then we have a problem. Now, if the market goes back above MA first and then pulls back below the MA and then go below OP, then the selling will really comes in, and the selling will not be light. Okay, can you see this now? The selling won't be light. All right, the selling won't be light. So same thing again, it happened before. Can you see this one? All right, this one is not, this one actually closed above. All right, so you can see my point. Okay, there's two incidents the last few months, something like this. Okay, so will this happen? Well, again, I will say this again. If the market actually stays above OP, then all is good. If the market stays below OP and shall the thing repeat, then there is a small possibility that the Dow Jones may come down to this point here, which is at 33,835, because that is also very near to the MA 200. Okay, guys, all clear on this? If everybody is clear, please key 33,835. I mean this number here. Okay, that means you're keying this number 33,835. Right? If you understand what I'm trying to say just now, please key this thing here 33,835. All right, please do that. Okay, all right. Great, thank you guys, appreciate that. Okay, so this is a number that you must take note. Now, if the Dow Jones do come down to 33,835, in my most sincere opinion, I think that there'll be a good time to buy. Okay, you heard me, right? It's a good time to buy unless the market peers below it. If not, right, 33,835 will be a very good level to buy. Now, why do I say that? Because if you look carefully, right, if you see the line there, all right, you notice that it's actually the neckline of all the recent recovery. Can you see this? That means that this 33,835, but you look across the left side, you notice that it actually is a neckline for this entire wave up. Okay, entire wave up. Okay, so the thing is this. Okay, I'm going to play the devil advocate here itself just to share with you my view. Now, if this is going to be all the great bottom out, right, signal, right, then the Dow Jones can go higher. But on a flip note, right, this is basically a 1,800 point movement, right? So if the market really breaks down, and you know how it goes up is how it comes down, right? So if I'm telling you this, is this a neckline, and this is how high it went, it's about 1,800 points. Now, if the market really continue to go down, right, then how low can it go, right? So obviously itself, right, you look at it, then it will be the same magnitude. So if the market do go down by 1,800 points, right, that means it's the 5% mark. Then the next figure will be 32,054. But of course, if that would happen, right, that would shake a lot of people's earth. So I don't think so. You go down to 32,054 unless it's a black swan event or pandemic that really went ridiculously crazy. If not, at the moment now, my first view is 33,835. Okay. All right. So that is the Dow Jones. Thank you for participating, guys. Thank you, Janet, Carl, Anthony, Toming, Gary, and Eric. Okay. Now, how about the weekly chart? Now, the weekly chart looks a bit ugly right now. Now, today's Thursday already. So unless we're going to see a miracle. Now, we saw that before, right? Remember this on this point? we actually saw a miracle day, where miracle week. The market was down tremendously, and then after that, the next 2 days, the market recovered and closed near the high. So that's why it is all possible at this moment right now. But although things that happened before, but I kind of believe that this time around may not be that simple. I believe that this time around may not be that simple. Okay, so if the market closed below this, I started this short-term trend line all the way, right, for so many weeks, right? So what if it closed below the short-term trend line? So if you look at it in terms of possibility, now the last time when it closed below the short-term trend line, we saw the market going down a bit more, right? And it happened before, and it's like this. Can you see this? So of course, this one, it went down a lot more before it rebounded. So all I can say is this: a closing like this will likely warrant a sell of magnitude next week. And you notice that my longer term trend line, this was actually supported back then. If the market do close below the short-term trend line and also the long-term trend line, I kind of suspect that it may really give a bit of selling effect on coming week itself. All right, it may do that. If you look at the longer-term trend line, how I draw this, you can see this how I draw. So this is basically the trend to basically show you that what happened back then in 2018 to 2020. So now it's at 2019. I started this plus 2 years, which is about 2021. So the market is basically showing a sign like this. Let me just show you this again. I think I did it before. I'll do this again. So you guys stay online. You can see this. This is the first wave. Then it peaks down. Second wave. Third wave. Fourth wave. Okay, sorry. Let's do it again. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Can you see that? Okay, 4, right? So let's try this again. 1, oops, sorry. 1, very high. Pull that. 2, 3. Okay. So by right itself, right, we are actually having the third wave. So if we see a fourth wave, we don't know, but we can actually expand the chart a bit bigger. I know you cannot see from far. Let me do this a little bit more. Okay, just expand it and then push it back. Okay, corner. Okay, so everybody now, just follow me again. Okay, so from this point, I drag all the way to the high. Why I draw to the high? Because I need to hit the point, and then it must come down to connect the line. 1, 2, and 3. Can you see that? So by right, the last time one was 1, 2, here, and here. Can you see that? So prior to that, there's one more wave. So this one took about 4 waves for the market to touch the common trend line for 2 years. And then when the market breaks below, that was where the selling. But this was because of the pandemic. Okay? This is because of the pandemic. So the question is this: the only way that this can happen is that it's another black swan event. Now, of course, Palantir Technology says that there could be the black swan event. Are they referring to this? I don't know. But definitely, in my opinion, it's all right. The market is kind of the high side right now. So anything is all possible. Okay, anything possible. Now, what is the scary part of this technical analysis is because of this. Okay, the scary part of this one is, if you notice now, this point here, and this point here. What do you see, guys? Now, for those who are involved, who love this technical analysis, you will understand what am I drawing with the circles at the bottom on RSI. Can you tell me what is that? All right, so I want to see how many of you actually love technical analysis. You will be able to tell me what am I drawing on the blue bars on the RSI. What does it actually mean then? Okay, so I'm waiting for your answers. The Dow Jones, the Hang Seng is trading a bit lower right now, Hang Seng. All right, anybody? Okay, I'm not too sure whether it's my thing not flashing or I can't see your answers. Okay, probably it's not. Okay. Overbought. Okay, Angeline say overbought. Okay, anything else? Anyone can give me another answer? It starts with a D. All right, now maybe you guys are actually sending me the thing. Let me just turn on my handphone. Sometimes it's just like that. Maybe you need to have the handphone version to be turned on at the same time so that I can see more. RSI is holding at holding at 70 for a long time. Oh, okay, fair enough. This is Hui Kun. Oh, okay, Hui Kun. Okay. Now, Hui Kun, you actually got the answer that I actually looking forward to. Yes, indeed. In my opinion itself, right, this is what we call it as divergence. Okay, let me explain to you all very shortly once I get online with my handphone to turn on the thing for you guys. Okay, so if not, I won't be wasting time. Okay. Okay. Okay, yes, in this is divergence. Okay, divergence. So let me explain to you in this way. Now, if you notice this, when the market goes up, the RSI hit 70, we commonly know that that's overbought region. Okay, so if you look at the history itself, right, let me just go this very slowly with all of you, very slowly. Okay, this is going to be a very good MAO this morning. Now, if you look at this like this, okay, from the long scale of time, okay. Now, whenever the market was going upwards back in 2017, when RSI go past 70, remember this, when RSI go above 70, by logic is overbought. But in a market when it's uptrend and bullish, RSI can stay above 70 for a long, long time. So that's why traditional traders, you just simply just short on RSI 70, you're gonna get killed. And look at it, this is a weekly chart. So which means that it's actually for a long time. Okay. Now, after that, when it hit the peak in 2018 back then, that was the highest point. Can you see here? Okay, that's A. All right, for you A. Then after that, you notice that when the market was going the new high back in 2019 to 2020, it was a higher level. All right, higher level. But you notice that back then, B is also the RSI is actually above 70. But the problem is this. The RSI is actually lowering. This is what we call divergence. That means that the market is going up. Okay, the market is going up, but the RSI is coming down. So usually we call it as weakness. All right, divergence. So if the market do break a technical point, which everybody focus, then usually based on what we see in patterns, it could break down. Good idea now? Okay. So now if you look at this again, now the last time we see this, okay, this C was actually lower than B, but the price is much higher. Okay, can you see that the price was much higher? So when the market broke down a technical point, the market did come down by almost 2,000 points back then, almost 2,000 points. Got the idea now? Okay. So now the problem is this. Now we are actually seeing the market going a new all-time high again. All right, a new all-time high. But now, if you look at this point here, the so-called D is even lowering than C. So which means that, right, the market is doing another divergence again. And while the market escalates to new high. So two things will happen. Number one, for those who are very bullish, they will tell you that, look, the D is so far from C, and the last time the high was B and A. So which means that there is still got a lot of room for the Dow Jones to go to 40,000 or even 45,000. So that is the positive camp. Now the negative camp will say that, nope, this is the divergence. And this is the point whereby if the market breaks a prominent trend line, it will sell down very badly. And that is what we are seeing at this moment right now. Can you see it? That the market trend line that we have is a pretty long trend line, right? So how many days is this? Let me just check for you right now. Now, the last time for this time from here to this point was 61 weeks. I repeat, 61 weeks. Okay, Now, let's look at this point here, everybody. From the low end all the way to the current level now is 73 weeks. So we are extended by another almost 14 weeks. Okay. All right. So with all these things here itself, right, I kind of suspect that some algorithm will be kicking in if the market loses this trend line. So I suspect that next week, if the market breaks below this trend line, there could be some form of selling. And the selling might be about 5%, around about 5%. So that's why traders, right, for those who want to go long, I would suggest that you go slow this week, these 2 days. All right, if you're trading intraday, no problem. But you're trying to position for longer term, take my little friendly advice, maybe hold back a little bit more before engaging fire. Now, if the market do pull back by 5% or more, then look out for a good level to buy. That will really help you a lot. All right, all clear on this? If everybody is clear on this, please key the word clear, C-L-E-A-R. All right, so that you guys know that you understand this thing called divergence, and I explained to you through the weekly chart of the Dow Jones, and you make your final decision. Okay. Now, of course, I say this again: the market has to rebound off the trend line, then it will make sense for buying. Okay, so don't think that it's a market to sell right now. You just have to make sure that you buy according to plan. Okay, because now the Dow Jones is recovering off today's low, so maybe the market will rebound as what I told you earlier. So don't jump in so early. Just let the market move and decide. Okay. All right, good. I see many of you all understand. Okay, excellent. Okay, so you got an idea now. Okay, let's look at the China A50 first. Now China A50 has rebounded off the low a little bit. Okay, off the low. The MLP for today is here. Okay, that's MLP. So that's, as long as the China market MLP is here, we just have to leave it alone. It's still okay. All right. Hang Seng has recovered from the low. It went down earlier to 25,657, but now has recovered now. So you look at the 5-minute chart, you will see the movement. Yeah, it came down. Now we know that because the KSI is red, right? So for it to go down to KTR -1 is very possible. So the market really came down to KTR -1. Just like there's no CCRY, right? CCYR, you can sell. But if people remember what I tell you about how you stay chart to get the daily bread, right? You were shorted the Hang Seng, and then KTR -1, you can just have bought back, and now you're already in profit already, and you are got out. Okay, so you got an idea now. All right, seems like the market will do a CCRY now. If the market can strongly recover, we should be able to see KTR +1 traded easily, because KSI is red, but yet the market can recover above 4P. Usually you go to KTR +1 rather easily. This is all strength. Okay. All right. So that is the view on that. Let's look at the Dow Jones for today. Now, for today's Dow Jones, you can see what's happening right now as I share with you. The opening price happened to be between the two pivot 1 and pivot 2. But the KSI is green. The KSI is green. That means that the market is still going to be looking to buy. I repeat, the market looking to buy. So if the market stays above OP, it will go to KTR +1. If it stays below OP, then the first KCB to watch out for is 34,000. Okay, 816 level. Okay, I suspect that if the Dow Jones come down, it should be going down to 34,816. Then I believe that this selling will come down in the European time. I don't think it will happen during the Asia time, because we have seen this many times before. If the market want to sell, they will usually push up in Asia time, then the US time they sell. So vice versa. If they want to push it up instead, they will basically sell in Asia time and then push it up in the US time. But this is what I've been seeing. It could be wrong, but just an observation. What is the KTR +1 for Hang Seng? Okay, give me a moment. Okay, the next KTR for Hang Seng, KTR +1 will be 25,846. Okay. All right, but it has to stay above OP with CCYR. Then you do it. If not, but KSI is still on the day chart, it's still red. Okay, 35,846. So you look at the Dow Jones 15-minute. Now see that. So the Dow Jones 15-minute is showing you that it's stable around here, and then it push it up. So the KSI now is turning green and it's going up. So if the upside will come in, it should easily tap 35,049. Okay, it should easily tap this number. Okay, no worries, Okay, all right. So 35,049. Now that is for the Dow Jones for the upside. Now, if the Dow Jones do pull back, then of course the downside potential can go down all the way to the next KTR -1, which is 34,788, which incidentally pretty close by to the KCB level at 34,816 level. Okay, so these are the two levels to watch out for the Dow Jones. Last night, the Dow Jones down 400 points from 2 a.m. until morning close. Yeah, we'll talk about that later on. Yeah, indeed, Eric. Okay, all right. So that is what the Dow Jones says to me. I will know what to do later on. Let's look at the Nasdaq. Now, Nasdaq, I already warned you guys repeatedly last week that Nasdaq likely will fall. Now, many traders were a little bit unhappy, Not you guys are, I'm talking about other people. All right, when they tell me that, Cal, you are wrong. I say, why? Because they tell me that this is a very strong reversal hammer right now. Under candlestick theory, it is a very strong reversal hammer. That means that it came all the way down and then it pierced past the MA30 and then recovered above MA30 and recovered. Now, this is actually a very powerful reversal hammer. And I totally agree with you. If you put into like, if you go for candlestick examination, if you say that it's a sell, the market will go crazy, you get it wrong. But I told you guys, the reason why we need to combine conventional and our TWB chart is that the TWB chart says sell, we just have to sell. And it works the same way, which means that now everybody, this is the high and this is the low, right, of the entire high to low of this entire candle. So which means that, right, if the market is supposed to go up, it usually will go up by one fold. Which means that, right, if the market, right, basically this is a view, if it goes up, right, you'll go up by one fold. Okay, so the one fold. Okay, all right, this is X. So this is like, sorry, I just want to make it simple for you to understand. This is like plus 1x. So this is X. All right, so that is what should be happening easily. But if the market, because of this strong reversal hammer and the market fail, okay, it failed to stay up, then by logic, it will go down by 1x. By logic, you go down by 1x. So everybody, if you look at the chart right now, right, the high to low, briefly, the high to low is about 218 points, 218. So if the market do come down by 218 points, we are going to see roughly there 14710. 14710. So I'm going to write it down for you guys. 14710. Now this is just an estimate, not drawn to scale, but roughly. So which means that now if the Nasdaq is to come down, the Nasdaq may drop all the way down to at least 14710. Now today the Nasdaq is trading at about 14,875 and it's recovering off the OP, so it should be going higher. But if it goes down below OP, I cannot believe that it will hit this point, 14,710. Okay, got the idea? Yeah, this is just only because this hammer is really very big, and of course everybody talking about it across all the financial market or the forums and stuff like that. So for me itself, right, to make it simple for me, I will just focus on the MA30. The MA30 is here today for the Nasdaq. The MLP for today is actually here. So as long as the market stays above MLP, there's a chance for the Nasdaq to go up to this point. So which means that if the Nasdaq stays above MLP today, MLP is about 14,908. If the market stays above MLP, it will go up to the MA30. Now, if the market doesn't go above MLP, then the downside could be here. Okay, so I will give you my view for today. You can consider on it and see whether whatever I say actually manifests or not. Okay, let's see. All right. Now that is the conventional chart. Let's see the TWB chart, what it has to offer. Okay, so let's bring in the Nasdaq now, day chart. Now the Nasdaq for the day chart, the KSI is red. I don't think it's KSI jump. I don't think so. So the opening price is actually here today, and incidentally, TSCV is from these 2 points. Don't ask me how you get it, because only P2P student will know. But you can see from the view is at 14,845 is the TSCB circuit breaker line, which means that, right, today opening price and the circuit breaker line is exactly the same level. So two things will happen. If the market recovers from a CCRY, then of course Nasdaq can go up quite a fair bit from here. On the other note, if the market goes below OP, then I can tell you that the Nasdaq can come down quite drastically, and that's 14,710. That's the level that I suspect will happen, because that is the KCB and also very near to today's pivot 2 level. All right. So watch out the OP for today. As long as the Nasdaq stays above OP, the market will go up. If the Nasdaq stays below OP, then I will say that 710 will be the target. Okay, so I write up for you. Nasdaq has as to stay above OP today. If not, we could see 14710. Okay, all right. So that is the view on the Nasdaq. Okay, all right. So Nasdaq. Okay, so now at Nasdaq right now, let's look at S&P 500. Okay, S&P 500 is also responding by recovering above the OP right now. The MA30 is here today, and that's about 4417. And yesterday, the S&P couldn't break MLP, and that's why it come back down. So today, the MLP had to shift it down to somewhere near here, which incidentally is very near to the MA30. So which means that today, the MA30 and the MLP is like a magnet now. It's drawing S&P. So if the S&P can recover, it can go back to 4418 level. It can go back, but if the market fail to stay above OP, then the selling will be pretty drastic already. So if I look at it now, right, if the S&P really drastic couldn't go up, right, and pull back, we should see the first base about 43.61 level, around there, okay, around there. And if it goes down further, then of course the next level could be a 43.20 plus level. And of course, the worst to worst is that it may go down all the way to trigger the 42.58, which is the 5% level. So S&P 500 at the moment now is still okay. The only thing is damaging is because it's close below the MA30. So it's not that fantastic because of that. Okay, so that is the S&P 500. Let's look at the S&P on the TWB chart. Now, the TWB chart is a bit clearer. The opening price is between the two pivot 1 and pivot 2, and the KSI is red, so which means that the market will favor the sell. But to favor sell, it has to go below OP as first one, or if not, you go to KTR -1, +1, +2, +3 at the high side, then you sell down. Okay, so I'm going to just give it to you my view on the S&P today. Now, S&P is moving higher right now. So S&P, the first KTR +1 level is at 4408. So I suspect that later on, right, the S&P may purposely test this 4408 level, and if it stabilize there and then pull back down, right, it may come down to all the way to the KCB level at 4388. Okay, so I'll write down for you first. If the S&P do hit 4408, cannot go any higher, pulls back, then there is a chance to see 4388 for the S&P 500. Okay? All right, so that is my view for today for S&P. All right, so I covered everything itself. Let's look at the DAX market. Okay, the DAX now. Yesterday, DAX pulls back really out. I mean, it was kind of unexpected. The DAX pulled back all the way from opening prices, gap up, and then incredibly, it stopped beautifully at the MLP zone. That's why I say MLP is very, very important. But the DAX is still way, way, way above the MA30, so there's no real call for concern. Today's MLP will be here. So as long as the market stays below MLP, then the market may go down to MA200. If not, the market will have to cross MLP to go higher. Okay, so you got a view. All right. Now let's look at the Nikkei. Now Nikkei this morning open gap down, but now it's trading higher again. So what happened to Nikkei? Because the dollar is recovering a little bit. As I mentioned to you, the dollar strength is very important in Nikkei. So as long as the Nikkei get the dollar strength, that'll be good. All right, now this is the MA30 for today. It's quite far away, 27,756. We are like 250 points away, so kind of far. So no need to worry. Now the MLP for today already just about to breach. Okay, this MLP of yesterday, you draw it for today. So now as long as Nikkei fail to stay above MLP, then it may pull back because it's below MA30. And if it cannot go above MLP, there'll be some pullback on the Nikkei. All right. So you look at the Nikkei today's day chart. Okay, putting Nikkei day chart, you will notice that the KSI is red and it's between the two pivots. So that means that if the market stays above OP, it should be resisted at KTR +1 or the most KTR +2, which actually you can see the moment the market open, it go to KTR +1, it got stopped out there and then come back down. See exactly what we say. But if the market pierces past it, it will go towards the KTR +2, which are marginally away. So now you understand why it's all right. The first 15 minutes or 20 minutes for indices, if you know how to play this game with the day chart KSI, you can get some money out of it. Not every day we'll make, but majority of the time you should see money. That's the reason why I say that next Tuesday when we do the Hang Seng live, right, I'll talk about this a bit more. For those who cannot join us, but you want to hear me out, right, I see whether we can do some recording or not. I'll let you know, okay? All right. Okay, so that is the Nikkei, all right? I've done all the indices. Let's look at the commodities right now, okay? Now, commodities. Everybody look at gold right now, okay? Look at it. Don't you find that there's some similar pattern this week and last week, 2 weeks ago? Can you see that? Okay, you can see it, good. You notice that the last few days now, the gold is heavily strapped around the MA30. The last time we see something like this was like this, remember? All right, it was also like this, remember? Okay, so what does it have the common point? The common point is this, okay? The common point is this. After being strapped to the MA30 for some time, after the moment move up, right, you can see substantially there should be further upside on gold. But we also seen that right after it loses the MA30, wow, the selling can be atrocious. So what I'm trying to say is now, right, we have the same thing again for 2 days or 3 days, the gold is not able to find a direction. And again, today is a doji day. It's a doji day. So which means that if gold stays below OP and below the doji, right, I mean the doji MLP, we could see gold coming down again. We could see. But of course, if gold stays above OP, then gold will shoot up. So today is a doji directional day, and it's somewhat 2 doji day. So usually that will give us a very strong chance to see a big movement, because the last time we see 2 doji side by side, and what will happen in the market? Let me take a look. Can you see this? Okay, can you see this? All right, this is what I mean at 2 doji side by side, and then the market really moved substantially. Okay, got a point? So today now the gold is trading below the OP, so by right the market should be going down. Now, if the gold does go down, right, it will come back down to here. That is the level 1762. Okay, if gold is to come down, right, it should go down to 1762 level. All clear on this? If everybody clear, please key gold space 1762. Gold space 1762. Okay. All right, you do that first. I'll get some water for myself. Now, a friend of mine asked me this question. Yeah, yesterday the gold price come down. How come the Dow Jones come down yesterday? How come the gold price actually didn't go up? I tell you this because the gold itself, right, is not really following the equity market or the dollar at the moment. It's on its own. So people who are very scared and worried, they buy gold. But people who think that the gold is too waste of time, they're actually selling gold. So there's 2 camps at the moment right now for gold. Okay, the buy side and the sell side. Okay, Janet, Toming, Jody. Hey, Jody, good to see you again. Jody, Angeline, Eric, Carl, Brian. Okay, good to see all of you once again coming back. So if gold stays below OP, right, and it's 2 double doji, there is a small possibility that gold may come down to 1762. So now it's 1783. I'm just informing you, anything is all possible, right? We have seen this craziness before. Who knows? We may see that again. Okay. All right, cool. All right, so that is the gold chart. Let's look at the gold weekly chart. Now, the gold weekly chart is basically the same. Nothing much has happened. It's staying to 1762. There's a very strong support level. Okay, let's look at the gold day chart now. Let's just analyze this together. Okay, so for gold day chart, you have a bit of problem on the buy side. Why do I say that? Now, okay, the opening price is between 2 pivots. So by right, above OP, towards pivot 1790 is possible, but you go below OP, then 1774 is also possible. But what is against you now is the KSI. The KSI is red, although there's no blue bar. So it's like these 2 indicator contra itself. And if the market cannot stay above OP, right, there is a possibility for gold to trade down to 1774 for today. Now, only if gold stays above OP, then it will go up to 1790. Now, if you can close above 1790, that'll be a good sign, because that will give market a few more upside feel that we will see 1805. Okay, 1804, sorry. Yeah, so these are the 2 things that I'll take a look. Okay, so watch out for these 2, the gold price and the dojis and the target I just mentioned earlier. Okay. Now for silver, silver is coming down and it's below MLP and it's below MA30. So kind of like not so good, okay? Silver is not so good. So silver, I repeat myself, I already tell my friends that $23 can buy a bit more, $22 buy a bit more because it's really, really good. Now for silver itself, right, you can see on the silver chart, it's not doing the same energy movement like gold. So that's the reason why, in my opinion itself, right, for silver, just go slight low first, okay? Light low. If you're already bought already, right, then just have to wait for a while. I told you it may not move this week, likely it's 2 weeks from now to 3 weeks later. Okay, all right. So that is gold for all of you. All clear? Silver for you. Sorry, my bad. Okay, silver. Okay, last one is crude oil. Let's take a look. Crude oil. Now, wow. Okay, crude oil has really came down. And I mentioned that crude oil will come down. Now, yesterday, crude oil hit the MLP beautifully. Now, let me show you MLP. MLP yesterday was $66.75. Okay, $66.75. MA 200 is 65.48. Okay, these two numbers, watch out. Okay, we go to the 15-minute chart of yesterday. Let's take a look. You will see the incredible pattern. Okay, hold on. Let me just set it up. Now, look at it. So yesterday for crude oil, when it opens, okay, it basically stabilized. So what you can see is that for crude oil, yesterday, okay, we are for the period separator first. Okay, so yesterday crude oil, right? This is the level that I mentioned, 66.75. Okay, this level came from where again? Earlier I told you, right? The 66.75 came from the MLP. That is the dash line. The one with the full body line is the MA 200. So you look at again. You can see what happened yesterday. The market yesterday for crude oil opened here, and then it went up. Okay, test MLP, test MLP, test MLP, test. Looks like on the way going up. Then suddenly it started to come down, and once it loses the MA, when it had to go down below the MLP, right? That was where it sell down first. Now remember, this line is the MA 200 line. Yeah? The market when it hit MA 200, you notice that it stabilized for quite a while, about 1 hour or so. But once it loses the MA, loses the strength or the interest, it sell down all the way down to $64. So what we're trying to say is that whenever you see the MLP or you see the MA30, the horizontal line, please use it to your advantage, okay? So in this case itself, right, when the market failed to actually stay above the MLP, that was where the selling kicked in, okay? The MLP is selling kicked in. So for the day chart now, what we can see is not that pretty at all. Okay, let me just bring it to you. So now the thing is this, the MA30, MA 200 will be here today, and that is pretty far away. That's about $65.46, about $1.20 away. The MA30 was even further away. Now this is very clear, the market is bearishness right now. It's like this, unless the MA30 pulls back. All right, so basically what we are seeing right now is that likely that crude oil will go down lower. And how low will it go? Well, by right, it will go down to this point here, which is about 63.71. Okay, the next level you can consider is to buy somewhere around here. And that is the 61.86. Okay, all right, so I'm gonna write it down for you. Crude, if stay below OP, can see 63.71 and 61.86. Now all these are all estimate, not drawn to scale. You should do it yourself. Okay. All right, so that will be crude for today. Let's look at crude oil for the day chart I told you. Now for TWB day chart is pretty clear. Crude oil, the KSI is still red. So which means that if the market is to break below P2, we should see some more selling. Now this selling should bring it down to about 60 level. So you can watch out for those level, right? I told you before, if a crude oil is coming down, then usually the equity market will also be coming down, and it seems to be actually happening right now. Okay, all right. So that is what happened for the crude oil, and I covered all the commodities and stuff like that. I'm gonna just jump into this Bitcoin for a while. Okay, Bitcoin. Yeah. Now Bitcoin, if you look at Bitcoin, hold on. There's a quick one on Bitcoin. And because I've been asked, by my afternoon is very packed with a lot of stuff. I can't do this. Now I told you Bitcoin with about 46,000. I say that you can consider take profit, because if Bitcoin come down, right, usually gold will go up. We have seen this before and seen this again. So that is my first view of Bitcoin, and the KSI is turning red in color. So I will tell traders to be careful on Bitcoin and Ethereum. Ethereum is a bit worse. Ethereum returned from a CCYR, a CC is a yellow color bar all the way now. It's resisted, and now it's basically CCYR on the day chart. And the KSI is also red. So I kind of believe that there could be some profit taking on the cryptocurrency coming soon. And of course, you know, the Federal Reserve have just mentioned about crypto. So overall, may not be good for cryptocurrency for time being. Let Gale come down first, then buy back again at cheaper price. Okay, guys, we have done all the charting and technical analysis. I hope you'll enjoy the session. All right, I hope that today you learned something on the divergence. Okay, so if you like what is going on, let's continue to our MAO right now with about the global news and why should we be bullish and the alternate market views. I think it's pretty good. Watch it. Okay. Now, first of all, thank you guys so much once again for all the great support. Now, within 24 hours, we have already have 97 slots taken up already. Thank you very much. Okay, very thankful. So please let us go for it now, because the Dow Jones now is really not doing very well right now. You really need to know some important stuff, and that's the reason why I purposely took out one very important chart, and I'll show it to you towards the last part of today's MAO under the alternate market view, the second last two slides. It's going to be very important. Okay, and Benedict has sent me his PowerPoint, and I can tell you this, he really knows his stuff so well. Okay, so it'll be lovely to tap onto his mind and let us know what his brain, in fact, that one is brain, and let us know what is in mind to tell us exactly what to do so that we can mine some good stuff from him. Okay, he is really very good. Okay, all right, and I promise you once again, he will be doing more talking. Of course, what happened is that I also do my fair share of talking. I'll be talking about the stock market. So he handled the gold, I handle the stock market. So you don't want to miss this. Okay. All right. Now today we already saw the FOMC minutes meeting. I'll talk about this later. Now tonight we have the initial jobless claim. The number is 363. All right, 363. They're looking at forecast. The initial jobless claim looking at 375. So I'm going to give you guys now the chance to make some ADA coin. Okay. So plus minus 2,000. Give me your answer now for the initial jobless claim. What is your guess for tonight? Initial jobless claims. All right, put your number now. Okay, then I give mine. Then after that we will close this off. Okay, whoever can get the nearest plus minus 2,000 will go home with 3.8 ADA coin. Okay. Okay, all right. So I give you all next 30 seconds. So don't tell me that you are late. Okay, you 30 seconds to make this call. Okay. All right. I'm sure you guys have your own view. Let's see who's the lucky one. Brian, 333,000. Brian. Okay. Michael, say 320. Anthony, say 500. Wow, very positive. How about the rest? Okay, we are now down to our last 15 seconds. Let me see. Allison say 380,000. Han Yu say 400,000. Fred 385. Gary 350. Judy 288. And Noel 330. Toming 370. I think PH Tan, I think error, right? Can't be 4.2, right? All right, I think error 425. Okay, so error change already. Okay, Eric 380, Karen 35.8, Hosing 36.6, Alex. Okay, wow, still coming in. Okay, all right, I'm gonna count the last 10 seconds. Then after that, I'll stop already. 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, no more. Okay, after Janet, no more. Now, my view is should be, in my opinion, it should be about 450. My view, okay, my view. Okay, Initial jobless claim about 450. So okay, so Cal view is 450. Then after that, that's it. No more after me. Okay, those who come and listen later after they listen to replay, they won't be able to participate. Okay, so for those who before me, okay, we are all now part of the guessing game, and we see who will get it correct. Plus minus 2,000. Now, if let's say we have a tie, then the coin will split. If there's no winner, we will just, that's it, no more. Okay, maybe snowball the next one. Okay, all right. Now, initial jobless claim is the measure of the number of individuals who filed for unemployment insurance for the first time during the past week. So that is what they are doing here. So that's why. So a higher than expected number will mean that the market is kind of weak. All right. So usually the dollar will be also taking with downside. All right. Okay. Okay. Higher number because it's jobless. Okay. All right, so the Dow Jones yesterday, it was kind of flat until then. Then when Jerome Powell come in and talk in the minutes, and the minutes actually leak out that there is some form of tapering. Bang, the market came down already. That was actually what happened. Okay, so wait a minute. I think I forgot to do this. My PowerPoint again. Apology. Okay, so the Dow Jones falls for the second day, drops 380 points as the Federal discusses reducing stimulus this year, apparently in the minutes. Okay, so let's take a look. So the major stock indices slipped by for the second day as the investors digested the latest Federal Reserve meeting minutes, for insights into tapering. So the Dow dropped. Okay, so apparently in the minutes, it says that during the July gathering that they're feeling that there's discussion. So interesting. During that time when it was before the minutes, they didn't talk about this. And now in the minutes, they talk about this. So that's why it's a very selected, don't you realize that it's a very selected way of informing you all this thing. That means that they already know what they talk about, but then they highlighted the main thing they want to let you know. Then whatever they talk in the meeting is in the minutes. And now in the minutes, they review, market reacted. Don't you find that it's really very unfair? So if you already know what you had talked during the meeting, and then you know the minutes going to come out today, last night, then of course, last 2-3 days, you will know what to do, right? Isn't that very, very unfair? That's my point. So to me, when I see this minutes, I'm going to laugh only. That's all. Okay, agree? All right. So the minutes noted that the market has reached its goal on inflation, which they never really talk about this during that time, the FOMC. And now they are saying that there could be a growing support towards a tapering in September. Okay, so let's say we do really have a tapering in September. Now, 120 billion, I kind of suspect that the most they reduced to only 100 billion. Now, do understand this, tapering is not taking out. Tapering means reduction. So which means that, if every month, 120 billion do push the Dow Jones up by 500 points, and if they're going to reduce to 100 billion, if they even do that, then of course the Dow Jones will still go up by maybe 400 points. You got my idea? In terms of month to month. So that's the reason why I say that even there's a tapering, it will not really stop the economy from going lower. In fact, the market may find it as okay, you're still giving me money, right? So might as well. Okay. All right, so the Dow Jones yesterday was pretty clear. Let's take a look what happened on the Dow Jones. Now, initially, the opening price was between the two pivot, and the KSI was green. So by right, above OP, CCRY is a buy. And of course, you can easily take profit at KTR +1. You should be able to do it easily. But the problem is this yesterday. Let's take a look. The market did this. Now, I'm not too sure you guys remember what I say, PTP student. This is not going to tell you this. Now, this is the opening price of yesterday. Now, with KSI green in color and everything so bullish, the market should go to KTR +1 easily, but it didn't go. Now, in the PTP program, I'll explain to them already, right? When the market doesn't go to the supposedly KTR +1 or -1 is the one, the supposedly level, and if it doesn't happen, the opposite will happen. And truth be told, can you see this? The one that changed everything is this guy here. And again, it's another BNB. You can see that almost every time it's right, whenever there's a big movement, the BNB will be there. And once you notice the BNB is there, you put the SL and RL properly, you will know what to do. And that's the reason why when the market breaks the SL, wow, it sell off. Now, of course, all this happened during the wee hours of time. It's like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. If you didn't trade, we totally understand. But at least you know that, okay, we did mention before about the view and stuff like that. And that's the reason why I kind of tell you to go slow yesterday. Now, for the gold market, right, you can see pretty clear. The gold actually did this. The gold opening price was between the two pivot. but the KSI is green. So if the KSI is green, that means that the market will be looking out for buying. So above OP, CCRY, KTR +1 shouldn't be a problem. Now, if the market comes down, KTR -1, if you are short, you buy back first because the KSI is green. And if you don't buy from the bottom, KTR -1, -2, you can buy, but make sure you got CCRY with BNB. All right. So this is a structured way of looking at the market. And did it actually really all happen? Let's take a look. Well, the market initially goes above OP first. Okay, it went up. And then very beautifully, it stopped perfectly at the, it stopped where? It stopped beautifully at the KTR +1. Now, everybody, can you tell me this? What do you see? Can you tell me what's A? Can you tell me what's A? If I ask you now, what is A? That yellow bar, right? How to define it under the TWB system? What does it mean? Can you tell me? Wait for your answer. Only BNB? Ah, correct. I see the answer that I want to look out for. Yes, indeed. BNB is correct, but the one answer that I'm looking out for is Carl's answer. Carl's answer is a BNB, and at the same time, it's also the day high of the day. You notice that? You notice that the A itself is not only just a BNB, it's also the day high of the day. So you see that? And if you remember, I told you yesterday only, I told you, right, if the market BNB, if you see a BNB and it happened to be the day high of the day, you can speculate that this could be the highest point. If this could be the highest point anywhere lower, it's a sell, right? Correct or not? And you look at gold, plunge all the way down. Look at it. This is why TWB system is so incredible. So next time you see a BNB and you think that that could be the high, then you can just speculate. And if you have speculated correctly, you have shorted down here because this is a CCYR, trigger KTR +1, and you sell, you will make money on gold. As simple as that. So isn't that incredible? Indeed? Yes, indeed. It triggered KTR +1, correct. That one's correct. But there's one more thing that I shared with you recently. I tell you this, if you see the BNB happen to be the lowest or the highest point of the day, you should watch out for it. Okay, cool. All right, everybody understand this? Okay, this is not the first time I'm going through this, right? Remember? So I'm pretty sure you guys know exactly how to look at it. All right. Now, by the way, while we are talking about this, I just saw that the Hang Seng is coming down quite a fair bit. My friends are, some of them are making good money. Let me just see what happened over there at Hang Seng right now. Okay, got the idea? Cool, right? Interesting stuff, right? Yeah, indeed. Hang Seng, what happened to Hang Seng suddenly? Okay, China A50 is down by a little, but it's still trading about MLP, right? So what happened to Hang Seng? Let's take a look at Hang Seng. Wow, 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 wow. Look at it. Okay, Hang Seng, basically, it couldn't go past the KTR +1. I told you it couldn't go up. And then it stayed below KTR, below OP. And then, wow, once it go below P2, the selling came in. But now it should be kind of supported at KTR -3. Now, I repeat myself, those who are short in Hang Seng, buy back some position now because it already triggered KTR -3, okay? It has triggered already. Now, throughout the whole day, whole point, the KSI was green. So for those who are PTP trained, you will know that if the market cannot go up while the KSI is red, then if the market breaks down, the selling will be there. So I hope that those who have who went through PTP, you capture something like this. Okay. All right. Okay. So got the idea now, everybody. Those who participated with the BNB, yeah, BNB is correct. But there's another thing that I shared recently, okay, which is the happen to be, if the BNB happen to be the day high or the day low of the day. All right, it's going to be interesting. Okay, got it? Remember? Okay, this is the second time I say it consecutively. Okay. All right, so let's look at the news right now. Now, Taliban blocking Afghanistan people, all right, from reaching the Kabul airport by breaking commitment, all right. So basically, Taliban actually says they allow, but now they break their words already, okay. So, and now the Americans are trying to save their own people, but apparently it's getting difficult. All right, this is what's happening now in Taliban. Now I'm going to show you two videos that may not be that nice. If you are, if you're sensitive, all right, you may want to take note of that first before I show you the video, okay. All right, now. Pretty sad though, pretty sad. Let me show you the first one this side first, okay. You watch this video. Now, I'm quite sure you don't find this on mainstream media. I'm very sure they don't show you on mainstream media. Let's watch them first, the one on the right. Okay, so this girl is shouting, right, her lungs out to say that Taliban is coming, Taliban is coming. And for a girl, we all know that it's very disadvantaged. And for a young girl, pretty young girl, it's going to be very bad time. So that's the reason why you can see this. Imagine you are there yourself. This is really very sad. Now, this one really, the next video really breaks my heart. Really breaks my heart. Okay. So if you're a very sensitive person, maybe you don't want to watch this. But it's not. There's no blood. It's just that you can imagine how a parent would react at this time. And we only see it in movies, but in real life, it does happen. Watch this. Okay, so I'm not too sure whether is this portraying the truth of the matter, because this is what people say. But it seems that people are so desperate that to escape from Taliban that they are passing babies and kids forward to the gate so that if there's anyone to save the kids. I mean, this is really what parents will all do at a time like this. We've seen it before. Remember this? I think that this is something that you know that as a parent, you will likely do it, because if there's no way to save the adult, save the kids first. And this is really heartbreaking. And I cannot imagine that what will happen. Now, someone did share with me, Kel, could this be actually the catalyst to start off the entire selling wave and stuff like that? I can't be sure for this. All I can tell you is that, if US cannot really get the act correctly on this, this will cause a bit of problem. And if the market just pull back on whatever reason to, this will really do a dent on the Democrats. And obviously it's all right, that Republicans are now recovering back and Donald Trump is coming back strongly. So probably it's all right, things can come kind of bad if this continues. All right, I'm just saying my personal view here. Okay, let's us pray for them. Okay. Okay, right. So now the Federal is actually worried also for the stable coin, okay, because he realized that the stable coin could also impact financial stability. So apparently now, right, the Federal Reserve also talk about stable coin. So initially, when we say that cryptocurrency is dangerous, okay, fine. But now they say that the stable coin is also a problem. So apparently in the minutes, they also say that, right, the frugality and the general lack of transparency with stablecoin is also a problem. So again, this will actually bring down the entire cryptocurrency market if this actually continue. So apparently now it seems that all the negative news are coming in back one by one. So it's kind of dangerous right now in my personal view. Then of course, with the minutes right now of the Federal Reserve, they're going to go to minutes. We talked about this earlier. So they say that likely is before the end of the year. So I suspect it could be in the last meeting. Okay, then they will announce it. Okay, but then again, market will do it will react before it happens. All right. So now they're saying that, right, it's not saying that the market will have a hike. Do note that tapering doesn't mean a hike, but tapering is needed before a hike can happen. So I don't think at this moment now the market can accept a hike, but the market may need to reduce the tapering so that the market can react by going back to work. Because everybody now is staying at home. I mean, seriously, who want to work when you actually can stay at home and then just relax yourself and money come in, and the money that coming in is more than your pay? All right, with the COVID ongoing right now, people don't have to go out, right? Who will want to work? So that's why when the tapering really stopped, the market really pulls back and people realize that, okay, that's it, the party is over. Then, of course, people will slowly step out to work. Now, when that really happened, the whole market will recover. And I can tell you this, if that really happened, and if the stock market really pulls back to a certain level, I write down for you example, if the stock market really, because of this thing really happened, now the Dow Jones is up, right? Okay, so maybe the tapering and stuff bring the Dow Jones down, and then after that, it will bring down a fair bit and it will stabilize. Then, of course, that will be a good time to enter for buy, because the next wave, if the market really on its feet, recover on its own, the next wave can be as much as 45,000. Okay, 45,000 for the Dow. I repeat myself. If the market do pull back of a significant level and people start to go back to work because they really realize that, okay, the party's over, all right, the market will swing around for a while. But then after that, when COVID is out of the picture, everybody's back to work, I can tell you this, the next wave is going to be as high as 45,000. Okay, so this is something that I'm watching out for because I want to do this. I also want to do this. And of course, I want to be part of this. Okay, so this is something that we can look out for the next 5 years. Okay, I repeat, 5 years, not immediately. Next 5 years. All right, I write it down. Okay, next 5 years. Now, today date is 19th of August. Okay, 19th of August. So Cal says that if the market pulls back down to a certain figure and then consolidate and then go up, right, whole thing will come out in 5 years' time. Okay, let's see whether would it happen or not. All right. Okay, hopefully by then you guys are ready with me and let's just make some money. And if you can do it properly, it's all right. I'm sure by 5 years' time, all of us here could be multi-millionaires. Okay, cool. Okay, all right. So let's just talk about it. That's why this coming Saturday, I'll be talking about this. Yeah, I'll be talking about how we can use this next 5 years to make money from the market. Okay, cool. All right, so now we have the Federal Reserve tapering. So you need to, again, you can put up your volume a bit louder so that you can actually hear what this guy, Listman, have to say. Let's watch this. Oh dear. Okay, the sound didn't come out. Okay, apparently again. All right. Once in a while, such thing happens, the technical of it. Okay, sorry. Then I will put up for you the video later on. Apology on that. All right. Okay, so what are the reasons to be bullish for now? Well, apparently now, okay, this is interesting. Now, this guy is actually saying that the gold price is a big, massive buying opportunity right now. Okay, well, this is good news for people, right? Why gold is a massive buying opportunity right now? Now, this article, you may not get to see it because it's on CNBC Pro, but I'm sharing this with you. So this guy is saying that this hedge fund, David, he says that the recent fall in gold prices offer investors a massive buying opportunity. And he felt that, right, this gold right now is good. So the recent sell doesn't help, but he views that this is a short-term movement and long-term is still a buy. So how does it look like? This is the guy, okay, kind of cool though. Okay, so he felt that the upside is there. Okay, in addition, he said that the possibility of stagflation, I think this is what Benedict also mentioned about stagflation. He felt that, right, the current stagflation is kind of scary right now because the growth is not there and high prices, inflation is there. So when you have growth not there and inflation is there, it's called stagflation. And of course, in the history, right, there are only like 1 or 2 times where the market really accepted stagflation in the economy. So this guy is saying that because of that, the gold price will become a very good form of a hedge and it's a good buy. He felt that, right, this is really going to be good and it's a free cash. And he felt that right now it's a good time to buy. And he felt that it's a safety trade. So overall, in short, he felt that, right, with what's going on right now, gold should be able to go higher, especially now the CPI and the PPI numbers are not favoring it. So again, guys, if you think that gold is a good buy, then of course, any good pullback, then you look for buy. Okay, so that's what I get for you. Now, you can see that yesterday after the FOMC minutes itself, right, gold stabilized, bonds stabilized, US dollar stabilized. The one that only take profit is stocks. So basically, only stock came down, right? So would it be a good time to buy stocks? I would say yes, but not now. Give it a bit more time, it would be a good time. Because if the thing will have a problem, the gold, bond, and US dollar were reacted, but they did not react, so it was stocks that actually reacted a bit. So it could present you guys a good chance to buy stocks, but maybe wait for the good time, okay? Now, yesterday we talked about VIX, and I say VIX will go up to 25, 26 level. Yesterday, VIX shoot up to 21. So for those who have bought VIX with AIMS also, you will have entered and make some money with it. All right. So guys, I still say that I still believe, I'm still holding my words. I believe that this one will go higher. So 26 to 28 will be the target level for VIX. Okay. All right. So try to look at VIX later on if you have time, because I see that this will be happening. Okay. Because it's very strong support over here. And based on what we are seeing right now with all the global news from pandemic to Taliban to the inflation and the stagflation, I kind of thinking that there's no much way for the VIX to go down lower, but to go higher instead. Okay. All right. Cool. So guys, all clear with this? Okay. All right, so now let's look at the alternate views to wrap it up. All right, 8 minutes to wrap it up everything. Now let's look at the alternate views. Now, first of all, we have cyclical, defensive, growth, value all got hit yesterday. So you can see the defensive was down yesterday. The cyclical were down yesterday. They were usually going in different direction, right, to just form a support. But yesterday, both defensive and this cyclical came down. Then for the two ETF, growth ETF and value ETF, yesterday, both of them also came down. So in short, yesterday, it's not only one sector that's actually got escaped, but in fact, almost all the sector got hit. So this is actually showing that the funds are actually moving out, and it's very, very contrarian to what the market is saying. So that is the reason why I suspect and believe that there could be more selling today and tomorrow in the equity market. All right, my personal view lah, huh? Okay, and of course, people will say, but Kel, but yesterday it is tapering. How come the dollar dropped? The dollar should have went up, right? I totally agree with you, and check something. Then I realized that, yeah, I know why. I'll share to you later. So the dollar actually came down yesterday when the news came out, and of course then the yield also came down, which is very surprising, right? So let me explain to you why is that so. Okay, now it's because apparently when the release of FOMC minutes, right, it seemed to have disappointed the Fed hawks. Now, because the FOMC minutes did note that the condition will likely warrant a reduction in the pace of the asset purchase, which is like tapering, but cautious language remains, which means that apparently, right, although several Federal Reserve officials view tapering is as early as next year, all right, it's more appropriate than year end. So apparently now, right, although they are saying that they'll be tapering, but some of them say next year better. But the market was expecting this year end. So when this came out, right, the market is like, okay, tapering, yes, check, okay, market sell. But because they say that it's next year, then the market say, okay, we should sell, but don't need to get so worried. So because of that itself, that happened, and that basically created this thing that the dollar was buying up because of this. So when the market got this news, the dollar pulled back. All right, so that's why the dollar pulled back. You can see the gold was initially down, then it recovers back because the dollar weakness basically bring back the gold price up. So they are saying that now it's still a lot of uncertainty, and this need to watch and look. So for the US dollar, if you look at the US dollar, you can see that the last high was back in 2020. That was around this area, and of course, all the QE have brought the dollar down lower. But if you look carefully now, we are seeing a recovery over here, and indeed the low has got higher. So in fact, to me now at 93 level seem to be a very, very strong neckline. And of course, if let's say the market start to think that, okay, maybe tapering, but not so much, all right, then the market may actually have the dollar coming down again. And of course, if the stock market goes down, if the people start to feel worried about the US dollar, then of course, when this dollar comes down, the gold price will go higher. It is possible. Now, of course, on the flip note, if the market goes up, right, if the dollar actually recovers, all right, then of course, we can see about 95 region. Okay, that will be the recent high back in September last 2 years ago. Yeah, okay. So my view is this: for gold is still a good buy, but just periodically. But we haven't come to the point of this shooting up yet stage. We haven't come to that yet. So it's still a time. Okay. All right. So last two slides for you. Okay. The thing is this: we can see now, right? This is the soft data versus the hard data versus hope, right? Okay. So what's happening right now is that the soft data, now we have all the stimmies or the stimulus package came in. Initially, the market took that in and were happy. But now the stimmy is no longer available. You realize the soft data is already coming down. And of course, the hard data have already reacted since February. So now we have soft and hard data coming down at the same time. And this is dangerous because when soft and hard data coming down at the same time and the market is at a high, right, it's very easy to really create a black swan event. Okay, it could really trigger a flash crash. It is very easy to create a flash crash. I'll put it there. Flash crash doesn't mean it had to be a black swan event. It can be just a sudden you sell, I sell, you sell, I sell, then all algorithm happen, and then the market create this. Now, what will happen if a flash crash actually happens? Good. That means you can buy it cheap. That means you can buy stock at a very cheap price. Okay. So a possible flash crash, not by it will happen today or tomorrow, but it can happen. Okay. So when this happened itself, right, you can see that the momentum is actually creating the hope to be lost in the market. Hope is the difference between the soft data and the hard data. So that is why you need to be very careful, okay? Now, this one, after this one here itself, the next slide, take a look. Now, we all saw this, right, on Monday, I told you, right, S&P 500 had doubled itself from the low to the high. So this was mentioned, and the speed was incredible. Majority of time is 1,000 days. But this time round, right, the market only take 354 days, or 1/3 of the usual speed, 1/3 of the usual speed. So what does it translate to? Then I saw this particular posting, the next one, and I'm just sharing with you. You just take a bit of salt, okay? Relax a little bit, don't go all in, relax. Now take a look. So apparently, according to Bloomberg, when S&P rises about 100% over the past 2 decades, the main equity benchmark has usually fallen at least 10% from its peak in the months or years that follow. So don't think that it will happen tomorrow, next week, okay? So since 2000 to 2004, when S&P go up by 100%, after a few weeks later, the market do pull back quite significantly. So it happened again from the lowest end, from the lowest to the peak, up at 100%, it pulled back again. And it happens also. Now, of course, this one, obviously, it went up more than 100% over many, many years. This is like 4 or 5 years, okay? So take note of that, and we'll pull back. Then after that, it happened again. It went up by about 90%, very honest here, then it pulled back. So now we have 100% from the lowest point to the current price right now. So what will likely be happening? So in terms of retrospect, it seems that the market will drop by minimally 5 to 10%. So which means that, right, if we look at this as a chart view, if the S&P now, the highest point is about 4,450, if there's going to be a pullback of 5 to 10%, then it'll be about 4,000 level, okay? About 4,200 to 4,000 level. But once it hit the point, if you notice this again, the market will hit a pretty nice level. And then when everybody says sell, it'll be a buy. And this time around, I believe it will go towards the 4,600 mark, which what this Tom Lee has said. So this is my personal view right here. Now, it's a very interesting here that I want to share with you regarding this Palantir and buying gold recently, and then what Cathie Wood say, Michael Burry say. So you look at it in a way, okay, you see that Cathie Wood bought a lot of Palantir on a site, okay? So the thing is, this Palantir itself, right, is actually a very interesting company. Let me just bring it to you live right now. One more slide. I forgot, I added one more for you today. Okay, so Palantir buys gold bars as a hedge against Black Swan event. They're not saying that there will be, but apparently their data seem to be having that sort of information. Now, apparently Palantir Technology, they build and deploy software platforms for intelligence community in United States and assist in counterterrorism, investigation, and operation. Now, basically, in short, they have all the big data. And apparently now the big data seem to warn them that there could be a Black Swan event. And Cathie Wood bought a lot of Palantir too. So the thing is I'm sure Cathie Wood have did her research on Palantir. It must be a good company. It must be a company with great assets in terms of technology. So if she trusts Palantir, and Palantir says that they are buying this as a more like a hedging tool, and Michael Burry came out and said that I'm shorting ARK Innovation, don't you find that right? It seems to link, and of course, in a way, that is a possibility. Now, a Black Swan event or flash crash is not a bad thing. If it pulls back down, right, it gives everybody an opportunity to buy cheap again. And you know, a lot of money now is still available in the market. So what will likely happening is that, right, if there's going to be any flash crash, the money will take out again and everybody will buy. And this time now, after they buy the low, the market will shoot back up. And this time now, it will be $4,600. So Palantir is co-founded by this guy, technology billionaire Peter Thiel. He's the one who supported Facebook back then. And Chief Officer Alex Karp is a very, very intelligent in technology. So they are all saying that, right, this thing. Now, governments always embrace Palantir software because apparently they are very good with their software. And it seems to be, right, it sends a coronavirus pandemic. So the current so-called Black Swan itself, right, could actually spread. So this company has $2.3 billion in cash, okay? There's so much money in cash. So even 50 million is really a small loose change. But still, for them to come out and say this is like seemingly they probably know something. And of course, if they really spot it on and get it correct, wow, this will help their stock price go really crazy. And of course, more business will be knocking their door. Don't you agree with that? Okay, so that is where I'm coming from about how I see this whole thing here with Palantir and this Caddy Wood and Michael Burry and what's happening right now. So to me, if we add all together itself, right, I will safely say that, right, just be careful on the long side from now till 2 weeks later. So the best way to do this, if you're not sure to buy or sell, then buy the VIX. It's not too far away from the space of 15. It's about now 21. There's still room for you to go. Consider. Okay. All right. Later on, I will post to you guys how much you can buy with AIM site itself in terms of value. It's quite affordable. Yeah. In fact, you can trade 0.01, very small size. You can go in cents form. Okay, guys, that will be all for today. Thank you so much once again. I hope you enjoyed this MAO. I think today is a pretty good MAO. Hope you like it. If you like it, please leave a comment and say you like it, and then give me all the like and love button. All right. Okay, have a great day, guys. This is Kel signing off. Bye-bye.